Hey everybody, Asian Bass Guy here. I'm going to talk today about a tilt trim motor. My tilt trim went out this weekend, and got a new motor, and going to see if that helps it. Never done this, so we'll see if we can get through this. Okay. All right. Right here's my motor. I've got it's a 2000. Evinrude 225 FICHT. Right now, you hit the button, and up in here, you can hear these solenoids ticking, but the trim is not working. All right, I took this panel off here, which is all the solenoids here and your fuses. Whenever you hit the switch down here, and what's ticking are these solenoids. Now I've got, when it ticks on both up and down, and usually these are the things that usually go out, or these solenoids, but they seem all to be working. Now the other day I was on the lake and I was troubleshooting, and over on the left side of the engine, on the passenger side, right here, you'll see a green and blue wire, and this one goes down to your trim motor, and I was getting 12 volts to right here, but I was getting 12 volts all the way to trim motor, but the trim motor wasn't working. And so this is a good spot you can test if the trim motor goes up here. It's DC volts, so if you got going one way it's going to be negative, and it's got to go the other way it's going to be positive, however many volts your battery is, so 12 something. So this is a good spot to check and see if your solenoids are even working. Alright, another thing I did is I took the new motor, and I took the connectors, and that connection I just showed, I put those in there and hit the switch, and just to make sure that it wasn't a limit switch or anything like that. Make sure you hold on to the new motor because it jumps around. It did on me. I had it up on a safe spot, but if you drop it, you never know, you might have to go get another motor. These aren't cheap. Alright, this is the connection that's on the old trim motor, and you need to get this connection off to put it on your new trim motor. So the way I did it is, on mine there's a little groove, and all I have is a scribe, a pointy scribe. Put it in the bottom there, lift up, you lift up on it, and then you just pull out the back, and that's out, and you can put it on your new trim motor. Okay, I'm taking my trim motor and assembly, all this out of here, because I don't think it's ever been done. So down here there's a circlip you take out, and right here you take this circlip out. I've already taken them out. Alright, now inside here where it says manual release, there's a flathead, and you want to screw that all the way out until it bottoms out. Make sure not to screw too far, because you will pop that thing out. So all you want to do is just screw it out till the circlip. Alright, now I've got the motor trimmed all the way up, and on the way up I took the pin out for this ram, and tilt it all the way up till the service stop here, so it holds it up. And now all this in here, I can get into all this in here and pull this trim motor out of here. Trim assembly all out. Now you got right here is a trim indicator, and it's your ground cable for your trim motor. I don't know if you can see it. Just take the two bolts off here and just kind of pop it out and push it out of the way. That way you can access the trim wires. Alright, as you can see, I took the left side of the cowling off here to get to the wires, and it just makes it a lot easier, especially I got this sheath on there now, and I'm going to put it on the new one, so just go ahead and do that. Alright, once I got all the wires out of the sheath, pulled it all out, I had to make sure I'd take the ground wire off the pump housing, and I push the rod down with my hand, leave the manual release open, and pull it out. I push it down, and then it just slides out. And this is what it looks like when it's out. This here, if you got the manual release open, you can actually push down on there with your hand. Alright, now I've got this sitting on the bench. I'm going to take the new motor off and drain all the fluid and put new fluid in it because it's been a while probably. Alright everyone, as you can see here, I got the new pump on here. All I pretty much did to drain the system is I tipped it upside down and I pulled this rod in and out and opened up the reservoir right here and dumped it out of here and dumped it out of here. Put the 4 bolts back on, just German torque specs, just good and tight, make sure it don't leak. Wiped it down, and now it's ready for install. Alright, as you can see, I got this back in here. Put your trim indicator switch back in. Don't forget your ground wire. I forgot to mention before that in the shop I had this. I filled it up with hydraulic fluid, with the tilt trim fluid, and had a battery on the in my shop, and I kind of ran it up and down and put fluid in there to kind of prime it up before I even got it on the engine. And all I had to do is just refill this back up a little bit, and she's good to go. And that's about it.